Hello everyone, my name is Adi Bagus from English Literature 2018, Semarang State University. Today, I would like to present my presentation about review of the Accidental Tourist book by Anne Taylor. Here is my outline. First is identity of the book. Second is summary of the book. Third is advantage and disadvantage of the book. Fourth is things that can be learned from the book. And last is conclusion. First, I will explain about the identity of the book. The Accidental Tourist is a contemporary romance novel by Anne Taylor. The novel was published in United States August 12, 1985 by Ballantine Books. This novel contains 20 chapters and has 355 pages. The book tells the story of a travel writer grieving the loss of his son and the end of his marriage, whose lonely world changes when a strange dog trainer enters his life. Next, I will deliver summary of the book. McConlery lived in the Baltimore, Maryland. He writes travel guides and recently lost his son to a shooting in the local restaurant. His wife, Sarah, moved out and wants a divorce. She feels that McCon hasn't been there for her, that he's left her to grieve on her own. Lost in his own grief, McCon accepts her decision, taking comfort from knowing he cannot indulge his peculiar habits, which Sarah can't stand. McCon is eccentric. He loves to invent things to use around the house. He also has unconventional habits, such as soaking his dishes in bleach for days on end instead of washing them normally and cleaning his own clothes in a dirty bathwater. Sarah finds her own apartment, glad to get away from these eccentricities. McCon slips into a routine that cuts him off from the outside world. He's supposed to be working on the travel guides, but when his agent calls him asking for an update, he must negotiate an extended deadline. Instead of focusing on his book, he starts tinkering with old applicants, inventing new use for them. However, disconnecting a tube from the dryer he doesn't want to use anymore. He breaks his leg and injures his dog. Because of his injury, he moved back home with his sister Rose. His two brothers also lived there. One, Charles, never married, and the other, Porter, is divorced. McCon decided to work on his book to take his mind off everything. He forgets to tell his agent Julian about his new address, but Julian tracks him down, apologizing for being hard on him when he had no idea about Sarah and McCon's accident. McCon, however, doesn't think Julian did anything wrong and gives him new pages for his manuscript. Julian wants him to write reviews for hotels and restaurants in major US cities, which upsets McCon because it means more traveling and upheaval. Around this time, McCon meets Muriel, a dog trainer, who helps him tame his unruly, disobedient corgi, Edward. Muriel makes obedient training look very easy, but McCon can't get the hang of it. He's frustrated and annoyed, particularly since no one wants to look after Edward while McCon goes traveling unless he can tame him. Macon wished he could hide from all his problems forever until Sarah calls him one evening to check in on him. Heartbroken that Sarah left him, Macon focuses his energy on training at work. Through his sessions with Muriel, he finds someone to talk to. Muriel is the opposite of Sarah. She is crass, honest, talkative, and a bit eccentric. When he is with her, Macon feels more like himself, even if it takes him a while to realize it. He feels she understands his odd habits, and she doesn't punish him for them. Instead, she likes that he is different. Muriel introduces Macon to her son, Alexander, who's often poorly. The three of them get along well, spending time together outside of dog training. Macon learns that Muriel is also divorced because her ex-husband couldn't cope with Alexander's medical bills. She and Alexander makes the best of their situation, relying on each other for support and friendship. Macon admires this about them. He starts feeling lonely and wants to do something about it. One day he kisses Muriel. His feelings are reciprocated. Alongside the dog training, Macon and Muriel begin a relationship, and he moved in with her and Alexander. He treats Alexander like the son he lost, giving the boy the love his own father could not. Muriel accepts Macon's odd habit around the home, letting him do what he wants. Meanwhile, Muriel quits her steady job, which upsets Macon. He leaves her and Alexander and goes to Winnipeg for his riding. Sarah calls him and asks to move into Rose's house because her lease is up. She is reconsidering signing the divorce papers. Macon tells her she can move in and hangs up. Sarah wants to rekindle things, but Macon's not so sure. He is in love with Muriel. He goes to New York, but Muriel finds him at the airport. She doesn't want to lose him. He must choose between Sarah and Muriel. When his wife, Sarah, becomes aware of the situation, she decided they should reconcile, forcing him to make a difficult decision about his future. Next, I will explain about advantage and disadvantage of the book. First, I will deliver about the advantage of the book. The book is combined of the best qualities of literary and commercial fiction the way the classic do. The writer's voice, view of the world, delights, surprises, the story and the characters seduce me along from page to page. The book consists comedy and tragedy without veering into farce or sentimentality. It's a book that runs deep and showcases the writer's ability to make the everyday both entirely recognizable and extraordinary. Another thing that made me impressed is how brilliantly writers inhabits the male psyche. The portrayal of Macon and the inner workings of his mind shows a deep understanding of a reality. Macon is burned into no counterfeit virility or masculine posturing. He is a man without glamour, without stimulating flaws. Now I will deliver about the disadvantage of the book. In this book does not reveal a firm sense of time or place, and also characterization take precedence over setting details in the book. The narrative in this book more on Macon's struggles with family life rather than where the families reside. Through characterization of Macon, there are reflections of the paranoia over increasing crime rates in the 1980s. The book also illustrates the decade's growing concern with the dysfunctional family and its cause and effects. They are also changing roles for women. All female characters show their strength in this book. Some exerted as they are firmly entrenched in traditional roles, while others reveal their courageous attempt to adopt more modern attitudes. Next, I will uh, explain or deliver about things that can be learned from the book. I will be explain three things that can be learned from the books. First, I will deliver about things that can be learned from the book is grief. Macon and Sarah Lurie have lost their son in a tragic and senseless way. This loss has directly led to their own relationship also disintegrating. Through the book I can see how the couple separately deals with their grief. As the book progresses, Macon somewhat comes to terms with Ethan's death, realizing that the only way to truly healing from grief is not to forget Ethan's, but rather to imagine him as still alive through memory, coexisting in a parallel realm. Yet Macon's ultimate choice at the end of the book to leave Sarah for Muriel also demonstrates that part of him wants to start anew and cast his old life with Ethan and Sarah into the past, in order to protect himself from more potential loss and have some sense of control over his destiny. Second is true love. The story shows Macon grappling to discover the true meaning of love. It is clear that he loves Sarah and his son Ethan, but he has lost both of them. As a result, Macon struggles with motivation to life, feeling that through loss, love has been taken from him. Macon is faced with distinguishing between comfort and true love. When he first parts from Sarah, he misses her deeply and can't imagine life with any other woman. He falls in love with Muriel for totally different reasons than his attraction to Sarah. His ultimate choice to be with Muriel over Sarah, despite his persevering feelings for his first wife, is a decision to embrace the sort of love that challenges him and helps him to become a better person. Third is modern marriage. In older times, marriage was seen as an unbreakable vow, where the couple is supposed to work out differences for the sake of the union. In more modern times, divorce has become extremely common, with slight disagreements becoming fodder to permanently part ways. In this time period, the 1980s, it has become more acceptable to take space apart in order to figure out which each partner truly wants. Even when Macon is with Muriel, he declines her marriage proposals, remarking that the formality of marriage is overrated. Last, I will deliver my conclusion about review of the Accidental Tourist book by Anne Taylor. My conclusion from this book is that overall it has a good storyline, tells of a struggle to find true love. They are things that make a relationship break down and lead to a better direction. When things are lost from life, look for other things, but these things cannot make up for what was lost. Those laws can come back by correcting what happened in the past and moving forward. This book is an example of how it doesn't matter to give people who've made mistakes a chance and can improve. Happiness doesn't have to look far. Happiness can be found by the close people who still love each other. I recommend this book because it has unique characters, the perfectionist portrayal of Macon's character is well described and even funny by the writer. Muriel is also quite strong in her portrayal, and a great storyline consists of drama, romance, and comedy combined nicely. It also teach some valuable lessons. Okay everyone, that's my presentation about review of the Accidental Tourist book by Anne Taylor. I hope through this review it can help you to find out briefly about this book. And also you can feel the stories in this book based on your reading experience. And also thank you for your attention. Goodbye. See you.